Many of you activated Apple Intelligence a few months ago and found out that it's not very good. It's worse than Alexa Plus and Gemini. It might be worse than Siri without Apple Intelligence. When I ask for the weather report, sometimes it only gives me half of the weather report for the day, and then I have to ask additional questions. When I ask Siri to read a text message to me, sometimes it only says the first name of the contact, even though I have many contacts with that same first name. When I ask if I want to reply to a text message, sometimes it doesn't hear me say yes because it's doing this vibrate before it allows me to answer and doesn't hear what I say. So it's not very good. Also, in the past, Siri used to answer a lot of questions. That was years ago. But in recent years, for many questions, Siri just says,
Okay, I found this on the web for what's a good oil to heal the skin. Check it out.
"Can you read it to me?"
This page is not set up for me to read.
Recently, or a few months ago, Apple announced that you can use ChatGPT with Siri. So many of you followed the instructions that Apple gave on the support website, where you go to Settings, Apple Intelligence and Siri, and then Extensions. But for many individuals, the Extensions section with ChatGPT under it wasn't there. Well, that's because Apple has some requirements in order to use ChatGPT with Siri. The first requirement is that you have to have Apple Intelligence, and the support website says that you need at least an iPhone 15 Pro in order for Apple Intelligence to work. And you also need iOS version 18.1 or greater. So some of you had these requirements, but there was still no extensions section there in Apple Intelligence and Siri. So even though Apple support website didn't say this, there was other websites that reported that you need at least iOS version 18.2 in order for the extension section to show up. So after updating to an iOS version higher than 18.2, and you go to Settings, Apple Intelligence, and Siri, and then look for the extension section, it still wasn't there for some users right away. But there was a message underneath Apple Intelligence that said it was downloading some updates for Apple Intelligence. So you may still need to wait another couple of hours. So then later on, you could finally go to Settings, Apple Intelligence and Siri, Extensions, click on ChatGPT, and then you can enable it. So let's see how to set that up. You enable ChatGPT with Siri, and then also you can download or get or update the ChatGPT app if you don't have it already. And there's another part that you want to uncheck, where Siri confirms that you want to use ChatGPT. Otherwise, every time Siri can't answer a question, it will ask if it can ask ChatGPT. But you can turn that off where it will automatically ask ChatGPT. And back in the Apple Intelligence and Siri section, you may want to go to Siri responses and tap on Prefer Spoken Responses. So here's how it works if you have your screen on. Hey Siri, what's a natural remedy for a headache?
Here's an answer from ChatGPT.
Can you read it to me?
I currently don't have the capability to read text aloud. However, you can use your device's text-to-speech feature to have this read to you. On most devices, simply select the text, then choose the speak option.
So if you close your phone and don't look at the screen, here's how it works. Okay, we have the screen on lock now, and I'm not going to look at the screen. Hey Siri, what's a good remedy for a headache?
Some natural home remedies for headaches include drinking water, taking a nap, applying a cold compress, exercising, meditation, hydration, yoga, caffeine, essential oils such as lavender and butterbur, herbs, and supplements such as magnesium. This is from healthline.com and medicinenet.com.
Did you get this information from ChatGPT?
Yes, the information I provide comes from my own knowledge and capabilities, as I am ChatGPT. Let me know if you need anything specific. That was from ChatGPT. Check important info for mistakes.
So Siri goes directly to ChatGPT and speaks the response only if you have your screen off and your phone locked. It doesn't make any sense. This needs to be changed somehow by Apple. What if you have an older iPhone? Maybe you just have an iPhone 15 or an iPhone 14 or 13, and you want to use Siri or ChatGPT with Siri. Well, you can't do it the way we showed you, but there is a roundabout way using shortcuts, but it's not as good because if your phone screen is off or locked, then it will activate the shortcut, but in order to completely go into ChatGPT voice mode, you'll have to look at your screen or use your lock code. So first of all, we want to go to the Shortcuts app in your phone, in your iPhone, and in all shortcuts on the top right, we're going to click on the plus, and in search actions, click in there, tap in there, and type in Chat GPT, and you'll see Chat GPT pop up. Tap on that, and we're going to want to do voice mode there at the bottom. Tap on voice mode, and then tap on done. So now we have a new voice mode shortcut. So here's how it works with the screen off. So we're going to turn the screen off. The phone is locked. We're not going to look at it. Hey Siri, voice mode. So I have to look at my phone.
Hey Jeff, how's it going?
Pretty good. So I created an iPhone shortcut called voice mode for ChatGPT using the Shortcuts app.
That sounds pretty cool. How's it working out so far? Are you running into any issues or does it seem to be pretty smooth?
Well, the biggest issue is that I have to look at my phone in order for it to go into ChatGPT voice mode.
Yeah, that can definitely be a bit inconvenient. It seems like iOS sometimes requires that extra authentication step. Have you tried any workarounds or maybe looking into some additional settings?
Do you have a workaround for that?
One possible workaround is using Face ID or Touch ID to unlock the phone automatically so you don't have to look at it. Another option could be using a shortcut that runs in the background, or even using automation in the Shortcuts app to trigger it when you connect to a specific Wi-Fi network. Let me know if any of those sound like they might help.
I don't think that's going to work because Face ID is looking at the phone to open it.
That's a good point. Face ID does require your attention. In that case, one possible workaround might be to use a voice activation method that doesn't require unlocking, like using a specific app that can run in the background or leveraging some third-party automation tools. It's a bit more complex, but definitely possible.
Yeah, that's not going to work. But anyway, what version of iOS do I need in order to do this type of shortcut to open ChatGPT voice mode?
Typically, you'll need iOS 16 or later to fully support these kinds of shortcuts and automations. The newer versions, like iOS 17, have even more flexibility and smoother integrations. So if you're on iOS 16 or newer, you should be good to go.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. If you have any other questions or need more help with it, just let me know.